Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Y'all remember?
Let's do this. We are live. Oh yeah.
We are live. There you go. Perfect. We're back for the first time. We keep going on tangents. It's my bad. I'm bad. It's my bad. But welcome back to the DNA podcast, guys.
We took a layoff.
Hiatus.
Yeah, my laptop was not cooperating. It had a stomach virus for like 3 weeks, and it was just terrible.
And I'm bad. I'm really bad.
No,
I
you're
get
good.
busy a lot. We've missed you guys though. We've missed the talks. I haven't seen this guy's face long because we've been.
I know. I got a haircut. I don't wear hats anymore. I got a new poster. Like, man, I don't know what to do anymore.
Hair now. I don't know what happened.
I feel like a journeyman now.
All right, so today we're kind of just going with the flow today. I think kind of just touch on some news.
I know, man. Just updates on everything, I guess. So I guess we can start off big weekend. Joker coming out.
I know, I'm excited. But you know what's bothering me about it? Like, okay, not about the movie itself, is that people are making like those threats. That's like bothering me.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, you're bumming everyone out. God, let's just enjoy the movie.
You're bumming it. I guess because the last time the Joker was on, no, because they didn't do this whenever Suicide Squad was coming out. No one threatened to do anything.
I think because Suicide Squad's me trash. So it's like, you know what? The people's punishment isn't to shoot them; it's to watch the movie. So
it's terrible, right? They're like, I gotta watch it anyways.
It's like I could kill them, but I mean, that might be doing them. You know, bang, 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 click, click, bang, 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 bang. You know.
Bang, bang. I think it's one of those things where, like, in this movie, I'm like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't watch the trailers and be like, ooh, chills, like a Star Wars trailer or anything. I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is gonna be badass. But like all these reviews and everything, like it's mainly like I know I'm gonna feel so much better about it when I get out of the movie. But going into the movie, I'm not too like excited. I don't know what it is.
They're playing it so old school in the sense that they're not giving up any of the storyline. Like they've only shown tidbits, so you don't know what's gonna happen. You know, and I love that. Like I miss that about movies, especially and don't get me wrong, I loved Endgame and it was amazing and it lived up to the hype and everything, but I just felt that they gave up a lot of the plot, and so I went to the movies like, I wasn't excited for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it lived up to the hype. I loved every single, but I think with Joker, it's leading up to that so well
really
to where you just, you don't know what's gonna happen. I think that's what made, like, think about all the big movies that came out over the past few years, the ones that knocked it out of the park. You don't really know what's going on when you go into it, just because so many trailers. So I think
I went into Sicario like that. Like I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
Loved that movie. So like that's kind of where I'm. But like I guess I know like the story. He's like a failed comedian and stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't know, because there's no Batman in it. I'm kind of like, oh okay. But like the reviews are great, so it's like it must kick ass. So I just my hype going into it is not going to be as big as my hype coming out of it. Is kind of what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Todd Phillips kind of played it really perfectly. He's like, look. This is just a Joker movie. This isn't about Batman. I'm gonna make this movie about a crazy dude that kills people. I kind of hope they do a bit of a call to him, at least to let us know that he's out there. That would be cool. Just to give us comic book, fiends. Like, oh yeah, Batman's. Like let's be real. There's no Joker without Batman, just as there's no Batman without Joker.
Exactly. So, maybe like just like a Wayne Enterprise, like a Wayne Enterprise tag, something just like.
Yeah. Maybe the show takes place in Wayne, like it's a Wayne Enterprise studio or something. I'm sure they gotta do something. Like it's gonna be the elephant in the room. They gotta call something. I mean, I hope
was there any calls to Spider-Man in the Venom movie?
No, that was the big question because they didn't know. So I mean, and they didn't. I don't remember if they did. It was just Carnage.
Yeah, the Carnage thing at the end. But so I mean, like they could do that, but then again, that was two different studios. I mean, this is the same studio, but just like a different. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully we get something. But then again, it would be just like there's no. Then it would be kind of weird because then Robert Pattinson, maybe his Batman was a kid during this movie, and the Joker is kind of just like a memory. I don't know. Who
Maybe
knows?
that could be.
If they
That'd be.
decide they want to link it though, because what if they come out with this? It's great, great. Like everybody's like, we love it, we love it, and then they're like, well, how do we connect it to our Batman? And then they kind of, like they do with every
Yeah,
movie, you know?
yeah. I was gonna say they won't know. I don't think they know what to do until the money comes in. Because when they see everything racking in, because I think it's gonna do well, and once it comes in, they're like, "Fuck it, let's keep making, let's pump these out. It's time, Batman. We know the people want it. Might as well do it." So I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
money talks. That's at the end of the day, that's all people are gonna do. So if it makes millions and billions, which I don't know if it'll crack the bees, just because. But I mean, if it does, what's to stop them from from
Just like, yeah, doing another one. Yeah, they're
yeah,
gonna.
exactly. Sorry, saw my dog.
No, you're
But
good.
yes,
But then
they
again, I
go.
think there's also the dynamic of having Joaquin Phoenix, and I feel like he's not gonna want to oversaturate that role. Like, has he ever like come back for another role? Like,
I don't
I don't
think
think so.
I don't think he's ever done a repeat role, and I think I actually, that brings up. I read that's exactly why he took it, because he knew this was going to be the only one, that he didn't want to
Yeah.
be a part of a franchise. So actually, it makes sense. I mean, again, what if this dude makes billions off of it? Then he'd be like, fuck it, I'll be a crazy guy. Who cares? I'll make money off it. But I also think
It's
that
crazy. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I think the Joker's just such an intense role for anyone that
Yeah.
plays it. So I think that might also be part of it. It's like, look, I'll do this one time. I'll give you everything I got, and let that be it. You're gonna get an amazing performance time, but I'm giving you one. Anything more
Yeah.
than this is gonna be too much for me. I think that's what happened with Heath Ledger. Jack Nicholson. Jared Leto was just terrible. Like
Yeah.
I like the idea of what they did with him, making him like a crime kingpin lord. I think it was cool, but I think he just
Gangsters.
yeah, he just took it the wrong direction. I think
Yeah.
he could have been really good, but I think he just
If you
didn't.
think about it, we don't have like any. I don't know what I would have. I guess DC doesn't have any like reoccurring, lingering villains, and kind of how Marvel had, or like they haven't done that. And I feel like a Batman trilogy where the focal point isn't the Joker, but it's like Gotham, and like the Joker's kind of like the end game. You know what I mean? Like that is like that's how I would like the Joker to be done. But I'm not. I don't know. I guess I can't be mad at this one. Everybody loves it, so.
Yeah,
But
and I feel
that's
like
if I
they
could
go.
do it over again. That's how I would do it. I would
I
make
feel like if
him.
they were a pecking order. How they had Loki, Ultron, Thanos. It would be Joker, maybe what's the gorilla? The
Uh, yeah, I know what Gorilla's.
Legrand.
Yeah,
Be him. He's a super mastermind genius. He's a very underrated villain for
yeah.
DC. He's a badass. So I think he'd be like the perfect Ultron type. Because they created him in a way they shouldn't have, and he just transformed and became what he like. Oh, dude, that'd be wow, God.
You just
I
wrote
just
it.
thought of that. Boom.
But like, what I want that for like an individual like Batman though, like the Joker be like the
Yeah.
end games. Like say that. I guess because they kind of just throw you into it. You see the Joker, he's gone now. You just throw you into it. You see Bane, he's gone now. And it's like it would be kind of cool to see that relationship, kind of like, he pops up and he's like, oh, bats. And
Yeah,
blah, blah.
but you understand, like the Joker, he doesn't have that kind of. He's never been that type of villain. Like, oh, I want to take over the world. I want to be the guy. Like, how Thanos and Darkseid would be. Like
That's
the
true.
all-time supreme. So I think Joker, he would. I don't think he'd be a good last bad guy, just because he's kind of like Loki. Honestly, he's a great reoccurring villain that you never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. Not that they're the same character aspect, but like they both serve the same purpose. I feel like. I could be wrong,
I
but
guess if you broke it down in more of like a like the Arkham games, if you could take probably Arkham Knight and maybe make that into I think you could make that into a trilogy movie. Like,
oh,
first half Batman's doing something and then he knows the Joker's out there doing his shit, but he's got to take care of these smaller problems until he can get to the Joker. And then you just have like a cool trilogy of Batman versus Joker. You know what I mean? And you can throw Bane there, you can throw just a bunch of obscure villains. And like
yeah,
that I would do it, other than him being like, "Oh, I want to take over the world" or whatever. But he has this like agenda that maybe Bruce doesn't know yet. He's just like,
yeah.
plays are dead. There's smiley faces on him. What the heck? And while I'm trying to
Uh,
find out, I'm running into Scarecrow, I'm running into this guy, I'm running into this guy, and that'd be pretty cool.
yeah. Well, and that's kind of the whole premise of when Dark Knight when Bane breaks his back when the Dark Knight falls. That the whole premise of that is he's chasing Joker and he fights Joker and he's super tired and then he runs into Bane and that's when Bane beats a really tired and weak Batman. That's when he has the ability to break his back. So like all the bad things that happens to Batman always come back to the Joker one way or another.
Exactly, and that's like kind of what I would like to have seen on screen.
Yeah.
It's that kind of relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's always in the pursuit of the Joker. What I would really
That's it.
want, and what I would really freaking want, I watched it again, is because I've rekindled my love for Red Hood. Is the Under the Red Hood movie, the animated one. Now, dude,
Yeah.
that would be
Okay.
so sick to see.
I was thinking about that the other day. Funny, I'm so glad you brought that up. Because, dude, I was thinking like, what if Kit Harington was that? Yes, I think he could play it off so perfect.
I'm one of those guys that just wants Kit Harington like in every role. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm really
I thought that.
put him everywhere.
And I thought him or even like Liam Hemsworth. I have obsessed with Liam. I don't know why I'm the same
Yeah, I
way.
feel like you're like the same guy. We like these
Yeah.
guys.
But I think Liam Hemsworth could pull it off so good too, just because he's tall. Like he also plays that kind of like short-tempered kind of guy, which is what Jason Todd is.
I
And
like
he
the guy from Supernatural too, Dean or whatever. What's his name? Ah, man, it's just Jared Padalecki and then the other guy, the not the one with the long hair from Supernatural, but I feel like he would be a good Jason Todd because he's got kind of a mouth on him.
yeah,
Man,
maybe. Yeah. See, I don't know. Oof, I don't know. See, I think but I think see what sucks about Batman, what's awesome but sucks about him is that iconically speaking, and this is why he's my favorite superhero, is he has so many great story arcs. He's got Red Hood, The Killing Joke, Dark Knight Falls, Dark Knight Returns, Batman versus Superman, any Justice League storyline.
yeah.
Like he's got some of like there's I can't name that many for Superman. You know, Flashpoint. That's a heavy Batman influenced one, even though it's a Flash storyline, which is one of my favorite DCs, but it's still heavily involved with Batman. So it's so hard to, dude. That's why he's the GOAT. Like that's why he's my
He
favorite.
is. He really is. And like my favorite, I love Batman, yeah, but my favorite within that used to be Nightwing. But then like as I got older, it's like Red Hood's the shit, dude. Like I
Yeah.
like that story. I want to see that story be told. And then, but that's also what you mean is like Batman having this big old rogues gallery is the reason why I would like his movies structured like kind of like a cartoon in a way, kind of like Tim Burton's. You had Poison Ivy, you had Bane, you had Riddler, which didn't land, but if it was done correctly, I
It could
think
happen.
it could
Yeah,
happen. You know
it
what I
really
mean?
could happen.
Directors nowadays, like, give it to James Gunn. Do you think James Gunn would make a bad Batman trilogy? Like, it would be so cool, like, to see
Yeah.
that. But I would like that kind of feel, other than just seeing one villain once and he's gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I was like,
I
because
think
that's the thing about Batman is he has these constant, like, these guys are.
yeah.
There's never let up. It never lets up for Batman. You know what I mean?
Well, and also I think with Christopher Nolan, I mean, God rest his soul, Heath Ledger, because I read somewhere that Christopher Nolan actually intended for it to be a 4-part series, but with Heath Ledger's passing, because I think so, Joker was the end of the second one, and then the third one was supposed to be like the recovery, like post Joker. So that wasn't supposed, because obviously Bruce Wayne's super beaten up, and so like the third one was supposed to be him healing, and then again, and that's where it ties into Nightfall, where
the
he
back.
like the back breaking was supposed to be the end of the third one, and then the fourth one is him coming back, defeating Bane, defeating the Joker, saving Gotham all together.
See, I love that. Like that.
Yeah,
See, that would have been amazing.
but again, I don't Heath Ledger, like I said, God rest his soul. That's my favorite Joker of all time. Like no one will ever beat that. But we'll see what he
rank the 3 Nolan movies right now.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
like
rank.
The third one is Batman Begins. No disrespect, just because like
yeah.
The second one for me is Dark Knight Rises, because and it's not even because I love that movie. It's so amazing.
But Heath Ledger.
Yeah, dude, you can't, dude. That movie is timeless. 11 years old, and you can watch it today, and it still feels like it came out a year ago. Like it's so perfect. It's the perfect movie.
I think that's like everybody's ranking of those movies. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's definitely mine. Like to the T. They're so good, and like not. I guess I don't really like Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. I don't really. As like a villain, I don't know. Maybe because I didn't see him enough in cartoons.
I liked him because he's one of Batman's most iconic like frenemies in a way.
Yeah,
He's
that's true. 'Cause
really
he's not like a
similar,
fool.
yeah, he's really similar to the Joker in a way because the Joker likes to play with Batman. He doesn't want to, especially with Heath Ledger, the way they made the Joker be like he wants to coexist with Batman and fight him until they both die. That's how Ra's al Ghul's always been. Like he's always wanted to outsmart Batman at his strongest, so that way he could be superior. Like at your best, I'm still better than you. He has that weird. He wants to have that complex above Batman,
And
and
he had
like
that kind of dynamic where he did teach him. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, I guess so. I
So
guess like I just
I think
don't
they
really
used
remember seeing.
uh,
I don't remember seeing an adaptation of him and being like, oh, this is a cool character. Like I don't know. I guess
well, you gotta remember, like Under the Red Hood, that all happened. Yes, Joker, but think about who else is Ra's al Ghul is the one who brings him
the
back.
Lazarus Pit. They
Yeah.
rewrote him. I was watching a video on the Red Hood, and like that wasn't his origin for a long time. But like apparently it was Superman that like made a rift in the cosmos that brought him back. But then they changed it to where he came back like half a man, and then Ra's al Ghul resurrected him with the Lazarus Pit.
The new 52 is when they took him with that route with the Ra's al Ghul because they wanted to make it a complete just Batman story arc because they didn't want Superman to have a hand in it.
Yeah.
Because the Flashpoint Paradox. I know we spoke on it in the first episode, but Flashpoint Paradox. That's why it's such a key movie, and that's why they can't just do it off a whim.
Oh, dude, that needs to be their end game. Like literally, like DC's end game.
It really
Yeah.
could.
It needs to be that because then from there, I mean, you have so many options after
Everything.
Flashpoint, man. You can tell
Yeah.
all these what if stories. It's great. I hope that when they do it, I hope it's executed correctly because they could really fuck it up.
Did you ever see again? And this happened because of the Flashpoint Paradox. Did you ever see Batman and the court and Batman versus Robin, where it has to do with like the Court of Owls?
Yeah, and apparently that's what the next Arkham game is going to be about. The Court of
Yes.
Owls.
Dude, that one's so good. Like, it's so bad because this guy, the guy, I can't remember his name, but he's like the main fighter
Yeah,
for that.
the Talons are they're like undead, right? Aren't they like zombies under those? Like I don't know. I was watching some bits. I haven't seen that movie you're talking about.
It's kind of like their version of like the undead Illuminati. Like it's an Illuminati type thing where it's all the higher ups of society. Like originally, the reason they know of the Waynes is because they wanted to recruit the Wayne family into it, but Thomas Wayne being like, "Oh no, I don't want to do it anymore," or "I don't want to be a part of this."
I would like that'd be cool to see him like against like a I don't know. I would like that. Court of Owls. He's got like a bunch of fucking trained fighters coming after him, and you get a whole bunch of Batman, and then he'll Robin. That's I think what we really need, and I think directors are scared of doing that again. Another Robin, because Robin is kind of easy to mess up. Like you can make him look a little too, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like which one do you go with? It's like because if you, it's weird because like the Robin you choose is the story arc you have to commit to with Batman because each one has a different, because if he goes Damian Wayne, he's got to go the Ra's al Ghul, Talia Ghul thing.
Yeah. And I'd say Tim Drake, who's after Jason Todd. If you do Tim Drake, then you have Red Hood in the universe, you have Nightwing in the universe, you have Batgirl. I think she would have already been around. So I mean, like that'd be kind of cool because then you have Tim Drake, which is he the one that becomes Red Robin eventually? No, he's the one that goes to Teen Titans, doesn't he? Is it Tim Drake or?
Yeah, No, I don't know. The last time when I watched the first set, like the OG Teen Titans cartoon show, that was Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. But I know in the comic books, I think it's one of the other ones, but.
Yeah, no, it's I think they rechanged it. The new one, like the Young Justice, I think that's Tim Drake.
That one's Tim Drake. That's what it is. Yeah, Young Justice is.
Yeah.
And so like I like him because he's like not to diss Damian, but I mean that's like his son, I guess, and that could come later, after that relationship is done, like, and then you're like, oh, I knocked up Tommy.
I feel like Tim Drake's kind of like the forgotten Robin. Like Tim Drake, he's really big because he becomes Red Robin, and he like has a thing with Batgirl.
Yeah, he's the one that I think in Batman Beyond he ends up marrying her.
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah. So they develop a relationship. So that he's important in that sense. So there's another one. So if you do Tim Drake, you can now introduce the Killing Joke, which is another huge one. So again, my point stands correct that each one has its own lane. So I think that's why they're nervous. Like whichever Robin we choose, we gotta go
Story to
that
tell.
story. Yeah. So I mean,
'Cause there's
if
no real big like plots that happen based around Dick Grayson. I think he kind of just like, I'm the first. What's up? I'm gonna go be Nightwing. Yeah. But then you
yeah,
have a Death in a Family with Jason Todd. You
mhm,
have
you have Killing
and
Joke.
then have said yeah exactly. So it's cool.
And then you have Court of Owls. You have Batman versus Robin. So, I mean, I guess Dick Grayson technically doesn't, but you can with Dick Grayson, you can take the whole story. If they want to commit to Teen Titans, I don't know of any
Yeah.
big Grayson stories. I don't know.
No, what I do. I just thought of one. I think it's called Under the Cowl. I think whenever Batman goes missing and the Robins
Oh,
kind of compete
yeah,
who would take over,
yeah, Dick
that would be
Grayson
pretty
comes
cool.
over. That's true. See, so
Yeah,
like, yeah,
it's
you're
Dick
right.
Grayson, and then I think not Tim Drake, Damian. I think it's his Robin, and I think they do that for a little bit. But
Yeah,
then Jason
right.
Todd gets mad that he's got it. He comes up with this other persona that kind of looks like a mix of Batman and Red Hood, and uses guns. So I mean,
Yeah,
like that's something. But like
yeah,
these are
you're
things that
right.
I wish, man.
Well, and then in Nightfall, because when Batman is getting healed, when his like back's broken, he go like in that comic he goes to Africa to get his back fixed,
Yeah,
and while he's gone, Dick Grayson is now Batman.
that's okay. Is that whenever all that drama comes up? That's probably when Under the Cowl
Yep,
takes
yep, yep,
place when
yep,
his back is broken.
yep.
See,
Yeah,
like that's why I think DC needs to just say, you know what, Justice League, one day, and just like flesh out this beautiful Batman universe, man. Like, just have it a because that's slowly happening with Spider-Man, and I think like, which I don't know now that there's that we don't know what the deal entitles, but you can tell that that's what, um,
Marvel.
like, yeah, that's what Marvel wanted to do. Kind of how all of
Yeah,
Marvel essentially is the Iron Man universe, because all the
yeah.
Spider-Man,
They're
everything's based off of Stark.
yeah they're just banking
I would
off of
RDJ,
Peter
dude.
Parker. Yeah, they're switching. They've officially passed them, and like I'm nervous just because with Spider-Man. I guess we're kind of tangent to this, but with Spider-Man, like I feel I'm just nervous because they're riding so much on him, and this deal is just so like it's paper thin. So if one party gets upset, whether it's Marvel or Sony, it's off, and then everything's
Yeah,
screwed.
it's screwed. That's what we may as well just segue into Spider-Man talk now.
Yeah, I mean I'm
uh,
excited they got it fixed. I think Kevin Feige heard the fans and was like, okay, fine. I have all the money in the world. I have control over everything. Sony, take this one. Take it, and we'll play your game. Just let us have him in our universe, and you can do whatever
I
you want
think
outside of
what
that.
also happened is Sony. Think about this. Sony's got to go to the drawing board. And you got to be like, wait, if we do take Spider-Man, he's not gonna have the suit. Stark gave it to him. He's not gonna have all the villains that they already fleshed out. We have
Yeah,
to restart, and if we restart, we have to recast. And the world doesn't want a fifth, like a fourth Spider-Man. I feel like that's maybe why.
yeah, and
So
I
they're
think
really like, fuck.
yeah, I think both because I think it's just so intertwined because if he can't mention Vulture, he can't mention Mysterio because Mysterio's reference as the Thor Iron Man mixture, and like
Exactly.
all Mysterio did was talk about Tony Stark, so that's all Marvel. Like they literally can. So they would be like, okay, well, forget everything you just went through. It would be
Exactly.
just it wouldn't make sense, and I
So
think they
they're gonna
realize
go in
that.
there and be like, even if threw Venom in to kind of cushion the blow of the transition, I'm sorry, man. Like I was even thinking about, we talked about it today with Parrish. I can't see Tom Holland going against Tom Hardy. I just like, I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Well, I think they're gonna go with how the current state of Marvel is, where Eddie Brock is like
Venom, maybe.
well he's no yeah because he is Venom. He stays Venom, but he's like an anti-hero. He's just on the run, and we've talked about this last time where he's on the run. He just wants to be left alone. He doesn't want to be a bad guy, but he's like forced to defend himself and kill. So he's still a villain in that sense. So he's wanted, but he's just like, leave me alone. Like I don't want anything to do with you people. Let me take care of this symbiote. I'm gonna die with it. Just leave me alone. But everyone else is on the hunt for
Yeah.
him. and they
Not
said
like what the Hulk did.
exactly like the Hulk.
Yeah, but
So,
like, see, but dude, Alex, tell me you don't want to see that dynamic between Venom and Spider-Man, like
I
Eddie.
I don't. I'm excited for it. I just want to see Spider-Man man up a little bit. I think Tom Holland needs to like, okay, I'm the guy. Let's do this. Like, I know people talk shit about Andrew Garfield, but he had that charisma and that confidence. He's a little bit of an
I'm
asshole,
saying,
and that's why I think if Tom Holland can grow into that and stop playing the innocent, like, like an Endgame when he has the gauntlet, he's like scared. Like, bro, come on.
yeah,
You gotta be brave.
Spider.
You're Spider-Man. Come on, man. You gotta be. You're the future of this. So I think.
And
Um,
remember his role in the comic books with Civil War? Spider-Man was his role was a lot more like when he took his mask off and revealed his
oh
identity
yeah.
to everybody. He was a
Civil
more
War
mature, like,
happened. Yeah, Civil War happened because of him. He started it all.
yeah.
And I
So
remember that led him to win because what's his name? Kingpin is in jail, and he finds out that Peter Parker is. So that's where Kingpin orders a hit on Aunt May, and that's like the one of the most famous Spider-Man comics is when he
yeah,
visits Kingpin's jail and beats him near death, and he's like, "If you ever go against Aunt May again, I'll come back and I'll kill you." And like you never saw Spider-Man like that, and like,
can you see Tom Holland doing that?
oh, I can't. So it's
Like, how do you think Tom Holland's gonna act whenever he gets the symbiote suit and he acts a little bit more darker and a little bit more like an asshole? I just like I can't. I don't know. I can't
yeah,
see it.
so
Hey everyone, I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
But the
But I
scene they
love it. I
from
hate it.
Far From Home where he's taking down the mob, you see how he had like the checklist? He was doing the
Yeah,
checklist of like that right there is Spider-Man. That right there is like okay,
yeah.
like he has to organize his superhero life to fit it in with his real life, like and like the way
Sloppy. Like
the way he,
one like sloppy and not really like he's going with
yeah
the flow.
the way
Yeah,
they're like so you Iron Man, he's like I don't know, I'm too busy doing your guys' job like that. Perfect.
perfect.
Textbook perfect. Need that type of energy the entire rest of the way.
Yeah, I just need him to get a little bit darker, and like you said, he needs to kind of mature a little bit. I love Tom Holland. He is getting older, like right in front of our eyes. He doesn't have a movie for another 2 years. I
Yeah.
mean, he's gonna mature a little bit. I mean, how old was Andrew Garfield? No, Andrew Garfield was like 30, I think.
Yeah, he
But
was he was
he
way
might
better.
get there. And yeah, again, like I've said, I think in 3 out of the 4 episodes, I just want my Spider-Man back on the ground, taking pictures and swinging around the Daily Bugle. Like that's
Yeah,
what I'm waiting for.
yeah, we'll
Which
have to
which
see.
I think that's where Marvel's going. I think they had their Avengers like era, and I think now they're gonna kind of just like veer off of that and let everybody kind of do their own individual thing. Guardians gonna go do their thing, like I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna work out. And then in about another 10 years, bring us all together again. I'm totally cool with that.
I know that's crazy to think that 10 like we're gonna be God, be 35.
You know what? We were perfectly aged, like we're the perfect age to watch these Marvel movies and like grow up with them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, we really are. And we get to show our kid. Oh God, I don't want to talk
We
about that.
got lucky. We got lucky that we got to like live through this and like
Bro,
being
I went through
10
that.
year old right now suck.
Yeah.
To catch up, you don't really understand. You're kind of just
Yeah,
like, why
Toy
is
Story
everybody like?
4 came out, and as a 10-year-old, like, who cares? It's just talking toys. Who gives a crap? Like, what is the big deal? Like for me, don't get me wrong. Endgame was amazing. I keep saying Endgame was, but I think for me the most exciting time I ever went to the movies was when I went for the Harry Potter finale, the second one, part two. Dude,
Huh?
they ran out every theater. There was line. This is back when there wasn't no assigned seating. It was first come, first served. You got to buy your ticket.
Rushed in there.
Yes, you got to wait on to buy your ticket. Like you had to do all of that. I remember when my brother we're all wearing our Harry Potter gear. People were dressed up. There was a guy.
Hmm.
Do you remember Ryan Oliver, Carson Ballou, and all them? You remember all of them?
Yeah.
They showed up dressed full regalion, the whole deal. Props to them. I wore like a Harry Potter. But bro, it was Connor Frazier. I think it was his older brother brought a legit snake to the movie.
What?
He was dressed as
Dude,
Voldemort.
premieres just don't hit like that anymore. You know why? Because they come out at like 7 p.m. now. Movies.
Yeah.
Like the day before at like 7. That kind of experience. I think the last time something similar to that I experienced was The Hobbit. I think
Yeah.
Everybody was out for the Hobbit. We sang Misty Mountains, like me and the group of people I was with. We were just like humming and stuff before the beginning, and oh, dude, like there's no movie experiences like that anymore.
So he has a snake, right? If Deathly Hollows Part 2 are all hype, and he's got this literally like a green python. It's huge. And the security guard's like, comes and is like, dude, you can't have that here. Why do you? He's like, I swear to God. He goes, oh, it's my seeing eye snake. The guy's like, snakes are blind. I know you're. Take that shit home. It was so funny. Oh my God. And I was scared of snakes. So I was like, bro, that python, like I'm talking like arm wingspan, arm to arm. And I was like, bro, get that away from me. Like, props, mad respect. You're dressed as Voldemort. You're killing it. But we can't watch this movie with the snake in the theater.
With the snake?
No.
What did he do? He like put it out in the car while y'all were watching it, or like what did he do?
No, he took. I think he left and came back and he didn't have it. So I don't know what he did with it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Yeah, some guy. I sold it to him.
Yeah, some idiot I buy it. I wouldn't surprise.
Like, yeah, movie premieres. I remember, man. Yeah, I like. Maybe it's the theaters I go to. Maybe the Alamo Drafthouse just doesn't like do them like that anymore.
Just a little bougie, just a little bit. But I mean, everything's like that now, where you have the assigned seating. You get to ring in an order. You buy your pizza, beer. It's like a social thing now, and I mean, it's cool. I don't hate it, but it took away that aspect of gotta be there, gotta go buy my tickets, go and sell more. Because now you have Fandango. You buy it online. You know, check. It's just not as exciting anymore as it used to be. Like the first Avengers in 2012, Dark Knight Rises, dude, all of those movies. I went to
see Dark Knight Rises. I remember that. I went in Albuquerque, and then I came home, and then you find out the news that there was a shooting about it. I was like, holy shit, I survived. That was crazy. I think that's the first time that this like whole culture that we're in right now is kind of like get sparked. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and for me, it was just a sense of why you gotta do that, man. You ruin it for. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. It's all political and shit, but it's just.
Yeah.
But
DNA podcast gets political.
Hell no.
Political views. But
Frank, we'll tie back in Batman real quick. I don't talk about Marvel all the time. So if you had to rank all the Jokers, including Mark Hamill's cartoon Joker.
So we're talking Hamill, Nicholson, Leto, Heath, and then there's that guy that had the mustache.
We have to include Joaquin Phoenix because we haven't seen him yet. So we can do a post. Let's do that. So
like,
they had the original one from the Adam West show. The original one.
What was his name? The OG one. That one that had a mustache.
Let's Google. Joker actor from Adam West.
Cesar Romero.
Man, you pulled that up faster than I could type shit.
Got you, bro. You know what? There's also that guy, that Cameron kid, that's doing it on.
Oh, man, he's good. Gotham, the show.
He's apparently really good. He's doing the killing, not the Killing Joke. Which Joker is it? When he like puts a face on his own face and it looks all gross.
Yeah,
that arc.
Yeah, but and like his face is rearranged or something like that.
Yeah, I would put. Let's see.
So I think bottom for me is the guy from Adam West. I'm sorry, respect to the OG, but he was too much of a clown, like literally a clown. For me, he's my bottom one. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go with him bottom.
Leto, and then I think Leto is after him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Leto after him.
Nicholson.
No, I'm gonna put the kid from Gotham third, not third worst, but third.
If we're including him, then I'll put him there.
Yeah.
I'll put him because actually, no. You know what? I need to see more